I probably need to actually tell you what the diameter is. So let's say these are all diameter 1, and I want you to make this grid system. So you could draw a bunch of lines out in a pattern and go and draw circles, or you could do this. Check this out. And this is only one way to do it. There's multiple ways to do this. Circle command, diameter 1, there we go. The copy tool allows you to copy things. Let's see what the value was. 6, 12, 18, 24. Allows you to copy things on patterns to make your life a lot easier. And I can copy this way of 4 and 8, and I'm done. See how much easier that was than trying to draw it out? So it's all about, the copy tool is all about using what you have made and modifying it different ways. So first off, let's just say, for example, you wanted to copy a triangle. Here's a triangle. Here's how the command works. You basically use the tool, you select the tool, you select the objects, you hit enter, you give it a point of location you want it to move it by. For example, let's say this little tip right here, and you give it a point of location where you want that to be. It's point to point, and you hit escape to finish up. It's point to point like everything else. In fact, if you want to, you can use the copy tool to keep going and create objects all over the screen. Works very simply, easy to use, and if you want to, you can even copy by distance. So we use our copy tool, select the objects, hit enter, click a point, and you can actually head in the direction and type in the value. So let's say I type in 10, enter, it copies it 10 units away straight down. Try it real fast. Go make you a triangle, and then copy some around in a pattern. Maybe 5 across and 4 down, whatever the case may be. I'll give you a pattern to do it. So triangle, and let's say this one from here to here, from this point to this point, is going to be 8.5, and we'll go from here to here, from this point to this point is going to be 12.2. Go ahead and use the copy tool to make that pattern. Alright, how we do? Copy it around? Take that as a yes. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to run through a few of these primary tools for you, just give you a quick demonstration on how they work, and keep in mind all the actual specifics of them are provided individually in the instructions. But here's the big game plan with some of these tools. When you have this modify panel, there are a lot, there's lots of tools here. We don't cover them all, but we'll get the main ones. One, of course, is that copy tool, very, very beneficial. But then you've got other features like this. Let's say that I draw some kind of funky shape like this, and I realize, for example, that maybe I want to locate it on this point, or maybe this point. You've got a command called move. You select the object, you hit enter, you click a point, you place the point, there it is. Hit the move command again. You can individually select the parts of the object. Still got to hit enter when you're done so it knows you're done selecting. Click a point, click it, place it there. So this command is all about just relocating one spot to the other. Notice that it doesn't give a duplication like the copy tool does. It pretty much works the same, except it keeps the original. So that's useful for kind of relocating things. Copy, of course, has lots of neat features. But then you got this command called the mirror, which basically allows you to mirror or make symmetrical objects. So for example, if I draw this line and use it as a mirror line, I select this tool and once again select everything that I want, hit enter to let it know I'm done, click one point of a mirror line, click another point of a mirror line, and then tell it no, and I get a mirror result. It's great for symmetrical parts. Now it has a lot more features built in that you can check out, but it's great for just creating half of a part, especially plate parts that are random patterns. For example, I could draw a plate system, and let's say that I make it symmetrical around this edge. Let's say it had a bunch of holes in it for a pattern system. I could actually draw half of it, use the mirror tool, select this, click here, tell it no, and then get rid of my edge line, and I have a perfectly selected part, or perfectly symmetric part, in a few quick and easy steps. If I can get this thing to expand, there we go. So great little feature. Then you've got the rotate tool, which does exactly what you would think. You select your objects. You click enter to let it know you're done, or you hit enter to let it know you're done. You select some point of rotation, so right there, and you can actually freehand it, rotate it around, or you can, and this is what most people do all the time, is they actually type in a value. Just keep in mind, negative values rotate clockwise, positive values rotate counterclockwise. I type in 180, of course it doesn't really matter, and it rotates it all the way around. But another common rotation factor is a rotation perhaps of 45, and there we go. Great little tool to realign or reorient things. Also, that's a faster or quick and easy way to actually draw a line and then use the rotate command to rotate it by its base point, let's say 45, and there you go. So great tool. So there's your move, there's your copy, mirror, rotate. You also have this great feature called scale. I'll show it to you real fast. Let's say that you make, and we use this a lot of times when we scale imagery and parts for reproductions. But you can actually use the scale tool to select objects. You're going to see the pattern of most of these tools on Modify involve selecting something to let you know, you've got to select things, hit enter, and then you say base point, I want to scale it up by a factor of 2. Bam, there it is. Or let's make it smaller. Hit your scale tool, select everything, factor of 0.5, enter, there you go. Great tool, gets a lot of work done. And then one other quick one, well actually two other quick ones. Here's a great tool to round off edges. Let's say you have a part that has sharp edges. You can use the fillet command. You want to specify the radius of the fillet or the curve, the rounding. So I'll right click radius, we'll say 0.5, and we click here, repeat the command, and the filleting tool rounds things off. Let's say on the last one we want to do a radius of 1. Let's see, tilt radius of 1. Click here and here, nice rounded off edge. Fillet command works really handy to round stuff off, as does its partner, the chamfer command, which is on the pull down next to it, and you can use it to square off edges instead of rounding them off. Questions so far? Another great little tool is, for example, if you notice the polyline command, as always, you note that it's one continuous line. The explode button allows you to click on objects, hit enter, and it becomes multiple lines after the fact. So, just get through some stuff. Some great tools. One nice one though that you really will like is the offset command. You select it, click whatever value you want it to be, let's say an offset of 1, and it will create identical copies offset 1 unit from the original. Very handy tool. We use that a lot in CNC applications and robotics because we have to follow patterns within certain profiles. So a lot of times when we're working with existing material, let's say we have a plate of steel that is 6 by 12, and that's what we're going to cut from or something. Let's say we have some scrap. I can't cut on the outside edges of the plate, but I cut the inside. So we use the offset command to create the safe zone in which to design. So as long as I cut within, or I design my parts within this zone, I know that I don't have to worry about any of the equipment burning out or flashing out along too close to the edges. So great little tool. Anyway, again, those materials are actually provided individually, and you can go check those out, but that's kind of how they work. Key thing with these Modify tools is it's all about creating something and getting your job done faster. You can always go draw hole patterns. You can always go draw individual triangles and recreate them, but with the copies and the mirrors and rotates, you can actually make them a lot faster. Any questions?